green.
Yeah, and also we're sitting outside so that, like, obviously the time and everything, because I think it is going to rain here pretty shortly, so we're under a covered pavilion, but we will keep you posted whether or not we got to scooch over somewhere else. But anyways, welcome back to Rock Bottom. Vi and I just got back from Orlando, and it was literally so fun. It was so fun. We had the best time. It was kind of crazy, though, and actually both of us were just talking this morning that our necks hurt. I literally, like, your neck, you were telling me that. Yeah. The pillows were really bad at the hotel.
It's like this whole area right here feels like I was doing like a neck workout or something. Like, it feels sore.
I will say, shout out to Premier, though, because my hotel room was comped, and they did give me VIP, which was so nice. Yeah. And then we got there, and they were like, you're on the top floor, and we were like, okay. But
remember when we were in the elevator?
Yes, every time we were in the elevator, people kept saying, like, oh, are you guys in the penthouse? And I was like, just because you're on the top floor doesn't mean you're in the penthouse, and we were not in the penthouse by any means.
Well, they had 2 separate elevators. That I felt so bad.
Oh yeah, tell them what you did.
That's what I'm saying. I am not this type of person, but we were in the elevator, and we were like, where's the button? There's no button for like 19, because that was the top floor that we were on, and there was like lower level elevators, and it literally said it on the thing, lower level elevators, and then there was higher level elevators. That's a tongue twister. And so I was like walking out of the elevator, and I was like, oh, this one's for the lower level ones.
Yeah, but there was a guy in there. There was a guy in there that was like, okay, I guess I'm just a piece of shit on the lower level.
He like kind of looked at us, and he was like, I was like, sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that. Yes. I was just stating what was on the wall.
We had like a really great time. Premiere was great. I had 3 classes that were like
all amazing.
It was so amazing. You got so emotional on the first one.
No, after the first one, I did cry.
Yeah,
I did cry a little bit.
It was like
because the first time we did Vegas, just me and you.
Yeah,
and then we did Vegas, me, you, and Christina.
Right.
Now we did Orlando, and
I know the truck's
car really gonna drive that fast?
Shut up! I filmed it here. Are you kidding me?
But no, it was so emo. It was very emo.
Yeah, you did. I looked over at one point, and you literally were like dabbing your eyes, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so special."
It was a very proud moment.
It was like one of those shows where this was. I don't know how many times have I spoken now. It's been several. I actually don't know how many times I've spoken since the first one I did in Vegas. But I've done several now. But this was definitely like the most people I've had in a classroom, which was so special. That's why I got so emo.
Seriously.
And even like you guys had to leave because you guys had to get back to the office on Monday, but I still had one more class on Monday, and that class I think was like the most packed class that I had all weekend. And it was like one of those like career milestones to like look around the room and see this many people wanting to hear what I had to say. And I was like sharing with how many of them, like how I had also been in their shoes one year where I was there and I was hoping to learn as much as I could in those classes. And I also was sharing how I had been to so many of those classes before and not learned something. And so like my goal was to make sure that I could like teach as much as possible in that class, so that people could get the most out of it. Which I feel like I accomplished that. I had a lot of people that came up to me afterwards and said they felt like they learned so much from my class. So that was really special. Yeah. What do you think was your favorite part about Premiere this year? This was our first time at Premiere,
was our first time
we've been to a lot of conferences, but they were strictly just like skincare conferences across the country. But this was our first time at Premiere, which Premiere notoriously started as just a hair show. Did you hear that thunder?
I did hear it.
Hopefully we'll be able to stay live because we're covered. Yeah, we're covered. We should be good under here. But yeah, so Premiere was our first time, and it was mostly just hair. Then it became hair and nails, and now it's hair and nails and skin. And they reached out to me asking me to speak at the show because they're trying to drum up some of the like content and some of the business for the skin stuff. So I hope they ask me back next year because I loved it. But
I thought it was cool. It's a different vibe than IECSC.
Also, Jessie from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I was literally so within like 10 feet of her, and Zach was with me on that day because you guys had already left, and we were standing outside of there, and she was like right there, and Zach was like, "Who is she again?" I was like, "Shut up." Say that out loud. She's one of them.
Oh my God, dude, that was so crazy.
It was so cool. I didn't like. I'm not one of those people that goes up to take photos with celebrities. She was like taking photos
with everybody.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just feel weird about that. So I didn't go up to like take a photo with her, but I saw her there and I thought that was really cool. I think it's so cool when celebrities come out to those things. There was actually several big time influencers that I've been following for a long time that were there, and I just think that's so cool to see them like in person, in the wild. But no, you guys had left, and Zach and I went to go walk the entire expo hall.
Yeah, because we didn't get to the whole thing.
I actually would love for Premiere to announce how many miles wide that conference hall is, because I swear to God, I kid you not, I did a 5K. That was a 5K. That was a 5K. Around the whole expo hall was insane. It was vendor after vendor after vendor. The booths that they had, some of the booths were 2 stories.
I did see that.
Like you could literally, that was crazy. It was insane. I've never seen anything like that. And the spa conferences maybe need to step it up a little bit. Like we need like a second story on Face Reality's booth. You know what I mean? Like it was so cool. I was like, this is insane.
Stairs in.
Yes.
No, because I think that was did you end up seeing Face Reality there? I was gonna say I didn't, because I think the only people that were there was
we need more skincare brands at Premiere, and I will be helping to advocate for that next year. I actually plan to reach out to their committee who's in charge of helping find vendors for the show, because we needed Dermaplane Pro there, we needed Face Reality there, Glymed could be there, like 100%. We were missing. The skincare section was like 2 rows.
It was like Skin Script. There was a couple other like random ones, but then Eminence was there. Sorella wasn't there.
Sorella wasn't there. Yeah, I didn't see them there.
What other big one was there?
ProCell was there. Yep.
ProCell was there.
And then that was kind of like it for like major brands. There really wasn't a lot of skincare this year, so next year I'm hoping to continue to help them get that ball rolling, because I think there's so much room for them to add more. It literally was just like 2 rows of skincare, and then like the rest was hair. You know, I'm telling you, it was a 5K.
Nails too, lots of nails.
It was 5K. And then
it was fun,
so on our first day, we woke up early. We get to the show, we get checked in. My class was at 10, I think, on the first day, which was Acne 101. And then, literally an hour later, we go to Epcot. And why we did that in one day, I don't know. Because we were delirious. We were delirious. Yeah, I actually checked. That day we did 28,000 steps in one day. Because we literally
walked to the convention when we could have taken a shuttle. And it was like a 20-minute drive.
I didn't know about the shuttle.
It was,
First of all, if you've ever been to the Orange County Convention Center,
Orlando Convention Center is the most insane thing. I had so many flashbacks from when I used to play volleyball, and I would go there all the time.
That was my first time going there ever. That was insane. And also, I don't even like sharing this because I feel like I do want to gatekeep this, but 2026 Ulta World is being held at the Orange County Convention Center. We will be going, and I will fight anyone for those tickets. But anyways, it's literally gonna be insane. It's massive. And so the convention center was huge, and I did not know, unbeknownst to me, there are 4 concourses in which like all of this our food is here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, wait, I feel like so excited. This has now turned into a mukbang video.
It has.
I'm just kidding, guys.
Fun fact about me, anywhere I go, if there's Eggs Benedict on the menu, I'm getting it.
I do normally also get Eggs Benedict, but I still feel so full from this weekend. Oh my gosh.
From this weekend?
No, literally. Okay, so tell me what you got. You got the Eggs Benny.
Yeah. With taters.
Okay.
Sometimes
I'm loving that this is the new vibe for the show. That we shout out to Mary again, because she was the one that was like,
let's do
you
it
guys.
tomorrow.
Yeah, she was like, we should do it like outside of somewhere, and I was like, wait,
I
this is the new vibe.
Forget. Do you ever forget which hand you're supposed to cut with the knife and the fork? Because sometimes I go like this, and I'm like, wait, this doesn't feel right. I have to switch, and then that doesn't feel right.
The Body Labs office manager, everybody. She's running payroll, y'all. I can't remember what fork goes in which hand, but she got the payroll on lock. I'm fucking dead.
I literally am such a type B person. I was doing my mascara in the car on the way here today.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but
be doing that
I'm
every day.
stepping into the point in my life where I'm just accepting that I'm type B. I don't give a shit.
Were you ever not accepting of that? You've been type B for as long as
a little bit.
Oh, really?
I kind of tried to
You
be
really
like,
thought
God,
you weren't.
Vera, I need to like figure this shit out. But
I've always been type B.
you know what? Every once in a while, I'm gonna have a messy car. Every once in a while, I will say though,
Every once in a while.
I clean my house.
Every once in a while.
My
I don't
house
think
is
I've
clean.
ever known you with a clean car. There was
It's not
1
that it's
month
dirty.
after your pop-up
It's not
came
that
and cleaned it for you, and then it went right back to it.
It's not even that it's dirty. There's just always shit in it. Like there's always like, and not even like trash. Like it's like clothes, water bottles, containers. Like there's just stuff in my back seat. But my front seat's always clean. My house, you know, I'm very meticulous about that. My house is very clean. But messy like clothes right now in my back room. I have a pile this high of clothes and they're not even dirty. They're just clothes I was trying on the other day to go to dinner. That I just didn't hang back up.
I've known since
so
day one of meeting your ass that this bitch was like a messy bitch.
No,
she's
literally.
just a messy bitch. Anyways, so then we did Epcot. Epcot, that was my first time ever going to Epcot.
Oh my God, that's a runny yolk.
I feel like we need to zoom in on that.
I know.
That was my first time ever doing Epcot, and I loved it. I will say this though. What was the purpose of Epcot at any point?
Because when I was younger, me and my family members, like all my family from upstate New York, would come down, and we would all do Disney one day, and then we would do Epcot the next day, and then we would do like Animal Kingdom the day after or something. But we would always do Epcot. We would always ride the rides. But I don't ever remember my family members, like the adults at least, I don't ever remember them doing like drinking around the world stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's all there was. I didn't see
that's
anything else to do there.
That's why I'm
I
confused.
genuinely was
Like, I don't
confused when we
know.
were walking around and we saw like little kids at Epcot. I was like, why are there children here?
Yeah.
This should be 21 and up. I'm in Germany drinking right now.
I'm in Ireland taking shots of Jameson.
No,
right now.
literally. There was like one point where I don't even know what country we're in, Japan maybe, and they were drinking our sake and all these other things, and then all of a sudden I looked over and there's a kid having a full-blown tantrum. Don't blame him, because there isn't a Mickey Mouse in sight. And if my parents were like, we're going to Disney, I expect to see a Mickey Mouse at least once. No Mickey Mouse, no Goofy, no Donald Duck. And as I was getting drunker, I wanted to see the characters. I wanted a picture with Mickey, and he wasn't there.
Sometimes the princesses will get up and like walk around Epcot.
Really?
When I went there for the first time, or not the first time, but when I went there for my birthday, the last time I was there, it was my 21st birthday, and we did like, whatever, it's my first drink. Not actually, but they had a bunch of princesses walking around. It was really cute.
I will say this though about Epcot, like that whole circuit, they got that on lock. They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
You literally spend so much money. I think we were on like not even our second country, and I was like, what am I at? $100 already? I was like, this is insane. And then you gotta buy a ticket to get in. First of all, to just get in, and nothing comes with your ticket.
No.
And also, we chose, I think, possibly the hottest day on record to go. Okay, so I have a vlog series that's going to be started on my YouTube channel, and I'm just going to be posting like a couple times a month, like a full day spent with me. And one of those days was at Epcot. So I had like full long form content that's being uploaded by the end of this week. I'm so excited. It's going to be so fun. Anyways, there are several points in the video where like we're like filming, and then like it zooms in on my face real quick, and I'm literally like sweating to death, and there's just like sweat like coming down my face because it was so hot.
I can't believe I wore a
and it was
jacket.
overcast. It was overcast, but it still was so
blazing
hot. And then I felt bad for the kids also because some of the like little places that you go to inside of Epcot didn't even have AC.
Yeah, there were some places.
But I think they do that on purpose because they know everybody would be in there for the AC.
To be honest with you though, I don't even know if it was that they didn't have AC. I honestly think it's that there were so many freaking people that were concluded into
Also
one little
true.
Also
Also true.
that it was just so
You couldn't even
hot 'cause
feel the
everyone's
AC.
body
Yeah.
heat. Yeah.
It was crazy.
Like remember when we went into that gift shop in Japan?
Yeah.
There was like, how many people were in that store? At least 200. Easily.
We went to
It's crazy.
the pub. Was that Ireland? Type B, everybody.
I just want everybody to understand.
Gross. I'm dead.
No, it's on my finger.
Oh no.
I am literally the most hippie ever.
Wait, okay, so really quick though, because I would like to point out when we were in Epcot, at no point was there ever a sign that said where you were.
I know.
So I feel like wrong for stereotyping and assuming where we were.
feel like that was wrong. Politically incorrect, if you ask
There
me.
were signs in
Was
in
there?
a couple
Okay, because
places.
when we were in the area that was quote unquote designated as Japan, I didn't see a single sign that said. We
that
all
is
just
true.
assumed, which that felt wrong on my character to assume that. You know what I mean?
Something's happening.
Like when we were in when we were in Mexico, I was like, we're in Mexico, but then it was like there wasn't a sign that said that, and I was like, you know how I know we're in Mexico? There's a mariachi band, and I was like, that's wrong of me to assume. So I was like,
crying.
Epcot, maybe update your sign. And then as I was getting more intoxicated, I definitely didn't know where we were.
No.
And then there was one point where we like started going backwards, and I was like, I don't know, this geologically doesn't make sense.
There was one
Ireland
point
and Canada aren't next to each other.
There was there was one point where we went to Norway, and all I wanted was an iced coffee with Baileys. That's all I wanted. I asked her when we were in Norway and we got those frozen coffees, and then you had both.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So all I wanted was that, and then they come out with this thing, and it's like, oh my god! It had like chocolate all on the outside. There was like crunchy little chocolate pieces on
It
top.
was so good.
It was delicious, but like I was so full, I thought I was going to throw up, and I was like, I legitimately can't drink this. It was $17.
That's
and
the
so
other
then
thing.
she drank it.
Yeah, I drank it. I was like,
Liv was
no,
like, I'm drinking it.
no money left
No,
behind.
literally, she drinks 2 of them, and then all of a sudden we look over, and she's like this, looking at her phone.
I literally was so drunk.
And I was like, uh-oh.
She got.
I was like, Liv got wasted really fast. It was so funny. And then that's when I was like, wait, I need to catch up. So
Okay,
we
wait,
went back
and
to
I
Ireland
had
and I took a
also
shot.
posted on my Instagram asking you guys, okay, do we start in Canada or do we start in Mexico? And there was a very big
have a very
divide
specific
across
answer on
the
this.
internet on that, which I found very interesting. Half of you said you start in Mexico, and the other half said you start in Canada. So we started in Canada. And here's where I think maybe we went wrong. Because you was, sorry. Should have never put anything near you. We, just a little moisturizer. Oh my god, I'm dead. We started in Canada because that was what you said we need to do.
Yeah.
Which I do agree.
'Cause you end in
However,
Mexico.
I will say this though.
And it's a party.
everyone starts in Canada to end in Mexico. So by the time we got to Mexico, the lines were too long. We didn't even get a drink in Mexico. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's almost like maybe you do want to start in Mexico.
Unless it was the other way around and everybody was starting in Mexico, and that's why the lines were so long.
Maybe also true. Because
know
the
what I
lines
mean?
were so long in Mexico and we were so gone at that point that I was like,
I feel like
I can't make another tequila shot.
I'm gonna tow that car. I feel like Mexico.
What are you talking about?
You're driving
Wait, we're
so fast.
completely
and slow.
sober right now. That's unfortunate. We're just naturally like this. And then you add alcohol, forget about it.
Imagine
I
my
was
mimosas
gone at
right now. I'd
Epcot.
literally be like, woo. You know what I felt like at Epcot? One of those things that like stands outside of buildings. That's like,
You look like that.
that's literally what I felt like. The things that have like the arms that swing.
I'd like to go back to Epcot again.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to be
I
able
loved
to
it when I
go
went.
because
So
we also went the first weekend of summer. Like
Yeah, it
like
was-
the kids
yeah.
were just getting out of school. Epcot was packed. I would like to go maybe back during like a weekday during the school year.
Yeah.
Where it might be a
Where it's,
little
like, no
and maybe
one's
in
there.
the fall.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not literally drenched. There was like one point where
It was very.
I like looked down and I was like, the spray tan is like running down
No,
my legs.
her spray tan was running. But you put it on like before we left.
I know, I wasn't thinking.
I think that was part of the problem. She was like, "Oh no, I can't do this."
Oh no.
The spray tan.
So Epcot was incredible.
But yeah, it was
Premiere,
really fun.
incredible. Out of all the shows that we have done though, what do you think has been your favorite show so far? Like, what is your favorite conference?
Like out of IECSC or Premiere. Well, I feel like I'm biased. I feel like it has to be IECSC because it's mostly skincare.
Right.
Because I like makeup and hair and nails, but it's not like my thing.
I think for me, I agree. I think
But
what
you
I
do
like,
like love makeup and stuff like
yes.
that. So I feel like you.
I'm a makeup girl. I
yeah.
have been my whole life.
Mhm.
I think what I liked about Premiere though was the energy.
Yeah,
It was a
very
little bit
different
more
energy.
like exciting energy.
Yeah.
Versus like the spa show.
It's not as.
Yeah.
I agree. It's
So-
almost more like kind of serious and like.
And if you're an esthetician and you're watching and you're always, I get you guys in my DMs asking all the time, like, what helped you get to where you are or helped you build confidence in the treatment room? The shows. Literally the shows. I even told a story at one of my classes about how before I had even hired Vera or any of my team, and I was just a solo SD. I went to these shows by myself, and Zach would come with me. And it's just like,
be messy. I'm moving.
oh,
I want to move.
I'm concerned. Thankfully, you have time to go home and change before you have to go to work today. So the first time I ever went to a show, it was just me and Zach, which I was so appreciative of, because get you a man that is your partner and your support system no matter what. But it was one of those things where, like, I couldn't necessarily have somebody to, like, conversate with about the things that I was seeing at the show. So it was, like, a little lonely in terms of, like, having a friend in the industry. And you guys know, when you first start out, it's fucking lonely. Whether you're a solo SD or if you are working at a spa, it's just lonely. It's like hard to make friends. And then on top of that, any aspect of the beauty industry is just cutthroat. Just catty bitches. And so it's hard to make friends. And so just like having that first show experience where you feel so alone. Oh, it is raining. And then coming to, like, fast forward to now 6 years later, where I'm hosting a class and the classroom is full of people who are there excited to learn with me. Literally, it was like such an emotional moment. And then so many of you came up afterwards and were like, I just want you to know, like, that resonated with me. I felt so lonely, and I hate that. I wish there was something else I could do about that. I'm working on it. I'll figure something out. But I just love that we are able to, like, come together in this classroom and unify over one, like, base construct of education and, like, bettering our careers for our clients. I think that's so special. So the show was incredible. If you got to go to any of my classes, hit me up in the DMs. Let me know what else can I do for you? What can I help you with? Slide into the DMs. But yeah, I really loved Premiere, and I hope that the skin side of Premiere continues to grow, because I think there's so much potential at that convention center. And you even saw it, like, in the back. There's still room.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they have plenty of room to continue to add vendors and, like, additional, like, stages. My, like, dream goal for one of those shows would to be up on the main stage one of these times. Yeah. I would love to teach a class on the main stage. I think that would be so cool.
That would be amazing.
It's just, I don't know. I don't know how you get up there. Who do I gotta call? Hit me up in the DMs if you want me on the main stage.
Because normally they do those.
Extractions, the musical, coming to a city near you.
Extractions, the musical. Don't they normally do the ones up on the main stage like that when you're
famous?
See, hold on.
I'm not famous enough.
Hold on.
Make me go viral, guys.
Does everybody see that?
What?
Hold up your bagel.
Why am I doing this?
That is the tiniest amount of cream cheese.
I don't like a lot. I just like a little.
So what's the point? Dry ass bagel. I would need like 4 of those.
I like
lather.
I like
anyway. What were we talking about?
This is why we can't do this in public anymore.
I'm literally such a squirrel. I'm like,
you don't say. Doing good. Thank you. Our waitress is so cute. I love her.
I know, I love her.
Okay, so make me famous.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
So I can get on the main stage.
Olivia. What? No, that's what I was gonna say. Isn't that normally how they do it? Where, like, if you want to be on the main stage, it's more of like you're talking about a brand that you're affiliated with.
Yeah, and see, that's what I hate though. This is where,
like, it can't ever just be.
You know what? When I provide my feedback to these conferences,
I'm being really big backed right now, and I'm gonna eat this whole thing.
That doesn't make you a big back. That just makes you a normal human who wants to consume food.
Okay, you're right.
Set the stigma. Anyways, when I send feedback to these shows, I plan. Oh, Isabel said, "Hey, besties, love you." Hi, Izzy. When I plan to give feedback.
Oh, I'm dying. I will DM you about that.
Not her asking that on live.
I know.
So when I give feedback to these shows, I definitely plan to include how, yes, brand exposure is important, but I have heard from so many of you guys how you guys have signed up and paid for these classes to attend, and you notice that the class is so brand affiliated that it basically just becomes a sales pitch. And that is where things go wrong in terms of actually bettering your education. Yes, brand exposure is important so that you can decide what brands you choose to work with, but also at the same time, all 3 of my classes were 0 brand affiliated. I did not mention brands. Afterwards, people got with me after the classes and asked me questions about brands, but during the class and during my presentation, I don't mention any branding. But what I can say is those main stages cater to those brands because they pay for that attention, right? They pay for this like sponsorship and exposure. So whoever they put on the main stage is just doing a sales pitch essentially for that brand. Great, yes, but also at the same time, sometimes it's just about the education. Like, we just want to know about the actual like treatment or service or product or ingredient that we want to learn about, and not necessarily affiliate it with a brand.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets frustrating. And I know exactly what you guys are talking about, because I also, and I won't mention the brands because Lord, God forbid I have an opinion and I get sued. I went to
Everybody's
plenty.
so happy nowadays.
I know, you literally can't say anything. I went to a show, my first show actually, and I signed up for some very expensive classes with some very big people in our industry. And the entire thing was like a sales pitch for like a brand. And I was like, okay, I didn't learn anything. And I just spent $80 that I don't have as a solo SD on this class, and I didn't take away anything. And I had so many of you guys come up to me after my class and tell me, like, Olivia, I just learned so much in that 1 hour, and it was so refreshing. Oh. It was so refreshing that it wasn't a sales pitch, that you weren't like promoting a specific brand or like pushing this brand down our throat. You were just giving us honest information, and that's what we need more of. That's what these conferences need more of. And if you guys agree with that, honestly, you know, giving your feedback as the attendee is so important. Like, go to the show website after you've attended and tell them what you think. If you need more of something specific at the show, let them know. Because branding, it's important, and sponsorship is important because that's what gets these shows off the ground. But also, at the same time, the whole thing shouldn't just feel like a slimy sales pitch. So, I enjoyed it though. I really enjoyed Premiere.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I loved it.
I think my next show is in July. I will be at the Skincare Summit, Skin Summit in South Carolina, and I'm actually so excited for that one.
That'll be our third, like, not like in general, but just like third type of show. Because we did IECSC Premiere and then now Skin Summit.
We're trying them all out. You know what I mean? We haven't done any on the West Coast though. We can go over to California. That's a long trip though.
That would be fun.
But
Is California and Vegas like close though?
Yeah,
They're
pretty
like right on
close.
top of each other.
I don't know about that. I think there's a state in between, but
Is there?
wait, actually, I don't know, guys. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. No, wait, Nevada butts up to California, but I don't think they're like right next to each other. I think it's a little bit
you
of a
could
drive.
technically drive from LA to Vegas. It's like 4 hours.
Right. Oh, wow, really? Only 4 hours?
Yeah. Remember in Vanderpump Rules when Jax and them would do that all the time?
Not us using Bravo shows to help us with our geography.
Oh, they literally border each other. Oh my god, we look so dumb.
They border each other.
They literally border each other right there.
We got no room for mistakes on live. Alrighty, guys. Well, that kind of sums up today's episode. We were just getting together to go over everything that we had at Premiere, which was amazing. I think we're gonna finish our breakfast, enjoy the rain because it's like full on raining now. It's so pretty, but we were covered, so this was perfect. And join us again. I have a couple of guests this month that I'm super excited to have on. My girlfriend Jen is coming on. I'm gonna get Miranda back on so we can rant about all kinds of things that we see on the internet. And yeah, if you guys have somebody that you want to see on here, let me know. And if you saw me at the show, thank you so much for coming out, and see you guys around. See you guys out and about. Okay, bye. 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 Okay. Gang.